Serious, what is illegal but most people don't even know it? In Florida it's illegal to tie an alligator to a parking meter unless you pay for parking. In Texas, there is still a law on the books that it is a crime to carry bolt cutters around. It is a leftover from the days of cattle rustlers, when the bad guys would use bolt cutters to take down barbed wire fencing. Pretty sure it hasn't been prosecuted in 100 years. To be fair, having a bolt cutter in the street means that you're either a gardener or about to steal a bicycle. Chico, CA. It's a $500 fine to make or have a nuclear weapon within city limits. No person shall produce, test, maintain, or store within the city a nuclear weapon, component of a nuclear weapon delivery system, or component of a nuclear weapon delivery system under penalty of Chapter 960-030 of the Chico Municipal Code. I know they had Titan nuclear missile silos right next to the city, so it must be related. Having crap hanging from your rear view mirror. My friend got pulled over for having a little Trees air freshener hanging from it. License plate covers. I saw one yesterday that was tinted and you literally couldn't read the plate even in broad daylight. But even clear ones are illegal, in Ohio anyway. The clear ones are illegal because it's possible to make photoreactive covers that become opaque on camera, foiling red light cameras. You can give a friend or family member a lift for free, but if they have paid you, even fuel costs, then you are now an unlicensed taxi. Under a 1940s anti-poaching law, not only is possessing or selling a bald eagle illegal, possessing any part of a bald eagle, including their feathers, is illegal. Find a bald eagle feather while hiking? Technically, picking that thing up and sticking it in your pocket means a $250,000 fine. I believe they are already protected under the Migratory Bird Treaty Act of 1918. Today most birds are on the list unless they are a non-native species or approved for hunting, so those feathers your kids are keeping, illegal. Illegal to throw condoms from parade floats in Louisiana, although it's not heavily enforced lol. Also illegal to have reptiles less than 200 yards from a parade in Louisiana. In the US, giving any federal employee, especially postal workers, any gift in an amount over $20 each and no greater than $50 in a year. I believe the government wanted to try to ban any gifts, but people were so attached to their postal workers and wanted to give them something, so they did relent, with those strict guidelines above. It's not illegal to give it, it's illegal for them to accept it. One of my friends studied abroad in the UK from the US and didn't realize pepper spray is illegal there until a British student told her. Most female students at our university in the US carry it everywhere, so it didn't even occur to her it would be illegal. No clue how she got through the airport with it in the first place, but luckily she was able to dispose of it without getting in trouble. It was illegal some time ago when we went to Canada as well. My friend and I took a road trip from NC up and across the Canadian border and they confiscated our pepper spray. Didn't get in any sort of trouble, but the guys at the border just explained that yeah, we couldn't have that over there. In Nevada there's an old law still on the books where a property owner may hang an individual who shoots a dog on their property. Also you can't take your camel out on state highways. The failure to spend 2 hours a week practicing with a longbow. This law was set up in the Middle Ages and it required every male over the age of 14 to practice with a longbow every week. The law's still in place but has been massively overlooked and forgotten. On Block Island, USA there's a local ordinance still on the books from the 1600s that to protect the harvest, all men over the age of 12 are required to kill 12 crows every year. In my home state of Tennessee, it's illegal to use a lasso to catch fish. Laws like that always make me want to find out the backstory of what dumb crap happened to get that on the books. If you have the skill to lasso a freaking fish out of the water, more power to you. The Salmon Act 1986 is an act of parliament which outlines the difference between legal and illegal salmon fishery, among other things. The act also makes it illegal to handle salmon in suspicious circumstances. California law stating that it is illegal to wash your neighbor's car without their permission. Also, in San Francisco and Long Beach here you cannot store anything other than an automobile in your garage. In my California city, It was illegal to wash your own car outside of legal car washing businesses. Driving consistently slower than the speed limit without legitimate reason to do so, like road conditions or a vehicle problem. In fact, in some states, it is more points on your license than speeding. You'll never catch me impeding traffic on the interstate, but holy heck, some of you on the mountain roads are FKN crazy. It'll be pitch black on a winding road with steep drop on one side and a deer warning on the other, and someone will inevitably pass me going 80. In my country, suicide is considered a felony. It's to allow first responders more ways to act. Like so a police officer can kick down a door or hospitals can force a short period of observation on a suicidal person. Never any jail time involved. Also, so a judge can force a suicidal individual into therapy. Maybe not that related to the subject, but a fun fact, in Belgium you get fined less for masturbating in public than pee in public. You can go to Lowe's and buy weed killer off the shelf and use it on your property. You can use it on your parents' property. If you use it on your neighbor's property and he gives you $20, that's a felony. Importing kinda surprise eggs to the US from your trip abroad. You won't go to jail, but if you are unlucky and the customs agent is not very lenient, you can face a fine for every egg you tried to smuggle in. According to some sources, the fine per egg could go up to $2,500, but I couldn't find a case where someone was actually fined that much. The most I could find in my 5-minute research was a Canadian woman who got fined $300 Canadian for trying to bring in one egg. I guess in most cases the customs agents will just confiscate the eggs and give you a warning. My aunt, who passed away several years ago, used to give us the ones from Austria all the time. Don't see why they care if it's for personal use. Walking down the street with an ice cream cone in your back pocket in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Apparently, there was a law that if a horse was on your property, you could claim it as your own. In comes the ice cream cone as a lure for the horse as you led them to your property. Scottish here, it's a legal requirement to let a stranger use your toilet if he or she asks. So if some random drunk comes to your door at stupid o'clock in the morning choking for a shite, you better be letting them in. To carry a plank of wood along a pavement here in the UK is illegal somehow, along with being drunk and in charge of a horse, wearing a suit of armor in Parliament and handling salmon in suspicious circumstances. But you can drink from the age of 5. In many states in the US, having sex in any position but missionary is illegal. In the US, it's illegal at the federal level to modify your vehicle to bypass emissions equipment, remove the catalytic converter or DEF system in diesels. The penalties can be stiff if you're caught doing so. Lots of people don't know this, however, and don't realize that it's the reason why not many mechanics who will do the work to bypass emissions don't advertise it. At least that's what I suspect, given how many people, including those on Reddit, who talk about doing the deletions. It's also why manufacturers put in anti-defeat measures to the ICE equipment they produce that requires it. They don't want to be held liable for making it easy for consumers to violate the law. Just to clarify, any vehicle over 20 years is exempt from this. Stepping into a public fountain. Yes, Joey, Chandler, Ross, Phoebe, Rachel and Monica, I'm talking to you. Guess I'll be there for you, in jail. Your employer telling you that you can't discuss your pay, protected right via the Federal Labor Relations Act in America. Contrary to popular belief, it's not legal to distill alcohol for personal use. Without a license it's illegal, period, including freeze distillation, which is extremely dumb, but so is the ATF. The only legal production of home use alcohol is beer and wine, and it varies by state. In NH I can make mead, but there is a limit. I can only make 100 gallons a year for personal use. Unless I have someone helping me, I can make 200 gallons. When I was a kid, I was walking home with a friend and he was carrying an empty soda can. He put it in someone's mailbox as we walked past. We giggled about it, and then forgot. A couple months later, the police showed up at his house. Some guy got pictures of him doing it and reported him. They threatened him with like 3 federal crimes, which equated to 10 years in prison and over $1 million in fines. Of course, he was never charged. The police just knew his dad and thought it would be funny to scare the living crap out of him, which it was, but technically, they could have charged him if they'd wanted to. The local police busting a kid on a federal crime, interesting. Now I'd someone from the post office showed, that would scare me as an adult. I got a speeding ticket on a bicycle in Missouri as a kid. The sign said 20 miles per hour and the officer clocked me going down a hill at 28 miles per hour. Frick that dude. While riding my bicycle I set off the speed camera in my neighborhood in front of the elementary school all of the time lol. Downhill I can go pretty fast and the speed limit is 20. Just because you have your turn signals on doesn't mean that you have the right to merge. If the lane isn't clear you are the one breaking the law. Got some fun bath time ones for ya. Georgia. In the state of Georgia, it is illegal to keep donkeys in bathtubs. Arizona, however. In Arizona it's okay to let your donkey stand in the tub, but they cannot sleep in the bathtub. Massachusetts. It is against the law in the Bay States to go to bed without taking a bath first. Arkansas. It is illegal to place alligators in bathtubs. California. In the city of Los Angeles. Bathing two babies in the same tub at the same time will earn the bather a fine. It is also illegal to eat an orange in your bathtub in California. Indiana. In the Hoosier state. It is illegal to take a bath from October to March. Pennsylvania. Watch out shower singers. No arias in these bathtubs. You may not sing in the bathtub in the state of Pennsylvania. Vermont. In the city of Barry, residents must bathe on Saturday nights. South Carolina. Horses may not be held in bathtubs. All of these just make me wonder how they are enforced. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.